Hello, hello, and good morning, Love Wrestling community. We are back with another edition of The Wall Report. I am JPJ, and this is my man, the franchise, Matt Sell. Matt, how we doing this evening for you? Early-ish morning for me. How are we, my friend?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good show to talk about today, I thought. Pretty solid. Yeah, I mean,
it was okay.
Yeah, I thought from a wrestling standpoint, we had a few pretty damn good matches, and then the build to Takeover this Sunday. But let's dive right into it. The show started with what I thought was a very good match between Oney Lorcan and Austin Theory. Good opener. I thought at the beginning they were trading blows, like physical. It was submission-based at first, like really beating the crap out of each other when it came to like European uppercuts, trading those, and just other strikes back and forth. I'll kind of let you take it from there. What did you think of this opening match between Theory and my Boston boy, Oney Lorcan?
Match was good, man. It started slow, but it built nicely, which was good. One thing I've always hated with wrestling, and they always do it, every company, doesn't matter. They showed the footage of Theory and Gargano brawling with Dunn and Lorcan, which is fine.
Yeah.
Then don't go and skip to the match and start the match with a collar and elbow tie-up. Just don't do it.
Yeah. Just start
drives
fighting.
Me nuts.
Yeah.
Just start throwing hands, please. Anyway, but the match was good. The match was good. It built, once they got past that initial slow period, they built it nicely. It was really good. Everyone has been talking about it. That Spanish fly was good.
Yeah, that was in all caps on my notes. That Spanish fly. That's what I wrote.
Yeah,
very.
You can't hate it. Doesn't matter what you think of Austin Theory as a person or talent. That was just amazingly good.
Very good. Let's say hello to a couple friends in the chat. We got Pluggo, Wrestling Plug Inc. What's good, my guys? And you know it, our man Spencer in the chat saying hello, friends. Thank you both for joining this morning. Glad to see you guys. Hello to both of you. Obviously on the social medias, that Spanish fly
blew up.
Was circling the rounds. Everyone loves it for obvious reasons. It was awesome. Springboard like that. That's a new innovative way to do that move that I had not seen before. So that was very good on Austin Theory's part. Like I said, I agree with you. I thought the match was good. You don't normally see these guys in this type of role, opening the show or closing the show or anything like that. So I thought it was a good spot for both of them.
Yeah.
And you can tell like Austin Theory is so young too. Like he's very, very young. And you can tell
in the shuffle.
It does. It does. And regardless, we're not going to talk about the personal stuff or whatever, but he's so young that people, like you said, people forget about how young he is. Like, I think he's only like 23. Like he's real young.
He's like Jungle Boy, MJF.
Yeah, around that. And you can tell that they expect him to be a big time player for them going forward. And I thought arguably, and again, I can't remember a lot of his matches off the top of my head, but I thought this was one of his better outings for sure that we've seen him like easily. And only Lorcan, whether it's in a tag team or in a singles match, he's always good in the ring. Like he works stiff, hard strikes. He's just fast paced. He's like this kind of like crazy, insane character that works well when he's in the ring. Like he plays it off very well.
Yeah.
We did see this match that Gargano and both Pete Dunne did get involved. And they started brawling, which led to backstage, which led to Theory getting kind of distracted. He was paying too much attention to the breakup, which led to Oney Lorcan getting the victory. I thought they might have given this one to Theory, but in hindsight, like I said, Theory's younger. That's fine. It goes with the story of him, that he has been losing most of the times he wrestles. So, and then we get some comments in the chat here. Spencer does say Oney Lorcan is incredible. Has been since his Biff Busick days. His Biff Busick days when I used to see him locally in the Boston area around here. So I've been a fan of him for a long, long time. And then we got our buddy Ed. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Ed. Thank you for joining us on this.
Good evening, Ed.
Yes, good evening from Matt's side of the world. Ed's always here, so it's awesome. We also have K Faber Ref saying heyo.
What's up?
And and before we dive in further, we probably should have announced it at the top. But this month, we are raising money here at Love Wrestling for the Trevor Project. And we are very, very close to passing our 1,000 goal already. I don't know the updated one, but I know we were in the 700s, the higher 700s. So we're already 3/4 of the way there. And I believe today is June 10th. So we're a third of the month away into the month, and we're already past a third of our goal. So we're on pace to crush this goal. Here is the link down below. It is donate.tiltify.com/@lovewrestlingca/Trevor Project. Great organization. Great thing we're doing this month. Very excited for it. We want to pass our goal by as much as we can. So, and Spencer says 8:22 as of this morning. So we are, it would be awesome to beat that goal by the end of today, to be honest with you. But we are very, very, very close. All right.
Even if you can't donate, share the link around.
Absolutely.
Let people know that we're doing a good thing this month.
Absolutely.
We preach, love and positivity always, but this month especially.
Absolutely. And we will be flashing that link below us throughout the show, and definitely we'll touch on it towards the end of the show again as well.
Flash and touch in 1 second. Settle down, mate.
It's early. It's early. I haven't had my coffee. Yeah. We do have Wrestling Plugging saying, how long till Johnny is sick of Theory losing? Yeah.
That'd be a good step up for Theory.
I think that, I think that's eventually, factions don't stay together forever, So I think that could be a route they go in future, like whenever they get to it, like Gargano just being really sick and tired of Theory losing, or maybe Indy cost, them the tag titles at some point, and it's kind of the older veterans versus the young people, and they kind of break up that way. There's a lot of ways you can go. Right now, I'm enjoying the way. I don't think they need to, do anything drastic right away, but definitely at some point you would think that Gargano being the head of this stable will be like, all right, like, when are you going to, put in your work, like you're losing all these matches. You would think that's a route they would go.
It's similar to Dakota and Raquel.
Exactly. We have Ed donating 140 bits. Thank you, Ed, very much. 140 bits towards the Trevor Project and our stream today.
Thanks, Ed. Much appreciated.
Much appreciated. Ed is always one of the first people in every show we do. We appreciate him very, very much. All right. Then we do get a vignette from LA Knight. He is in, so I'm assuming, what is meant to be his mansion, a huge, huge house. There are women everywhere. He's talking about how he's the right guy to carry on the $1 million legacy, as you can tell by his surroundings. And he says, hey, meet me in the hot tub. I got a story for you. And then we flash to him in the hot tub surrounded by two beautiful women. And he's telling a story of how Cameron Grimes is going to get his ass kicked on Sunday. And they kind of do the fake laughter with him. And then he kind of is laughing with them and then stops and says, all right, that's enough. And he kind of
laughing time is over.
Yeah, exactly. Laughing time's over. I thought that was funny. And we'll see one that Grimes had very similar in a little bit, but I thought this was short, sweet, showed him in the rich house, surrounded by women in the hot tub, kind of getting across that he's a rich superstar and he's, in this match. Did you have anything to add when it came to the LA Knight vignette?
No, man, it was short, sharp, everything it needed to be. We say it every week. He could talk with a mouthful of marbles underwater, and he did it again. So
we then got our first of two handsome Doc Hendricks sightings. Just giving a quick rundown of Takeover. Nothing to really discuss here, but I thought it was cool that they made the Doc Hendricks reference with obviously Takeover being in your house, and Doc Hendricks and Todd Pettengill, who are both going to be involved with Takeover. They were the main two when it came to the in your houses. So it's kind of cool how they're kind of having fun with it and bringing these guys back and kind of giving them a little rub.
Love it.
Josh Robinson says hello. Hi, Josh.
Hello, Josh.
Always good to see you. Thanks for popping in. So that was like a little rundown of Takeover by Doc Hendricks. I thought that was pretty funny. Then we cut to the ring and we have Legado del Fantasma in the ring. And Escobar calls out Bronson Reed. He says he's going to make him pay for what he did last week. Bronson comes out immediately No messing around. Bronson comes out immediately. He makes fun of Escobar a little bit, and then he shows the replay literally like one by one through all the boards, which I thought was very funny.
So good.
I thought it was hilarious. And you could tell that Escobar was just getting more and more and more angry as it kept on showing in every section of the building.
Yep.
Of him getting squished or crushed by Reed last week. Escobar says, all right, enough fun and games. Why don't you come down here and do something? And Reed goes, okay. And he walks right down, gets right in the ring, 3-on-1, does not care. And then MSK comes to join the party and kind of even up the odds, which forces Legado del Fantasma to retreat. And we will dive into this because I know you called this sucker a couple weeks ago, but Escobar challenges MSK and Bronson Reed to a 6-man tag match at Takeover on Sunday. Winner take all. All the belts on the line. Winner take all. It will be the tag team titles and the North American titles. Yeah, simple as it is. The winning team will go home with all the gold. Talk to me about this. I know you and I touched on it briefly a couple weeks ago, and we thought this would be a cool way for them to go, but it seems that they actually went that way. So talk about you being right at first, get your little gloating in, and then talk about this segment and what you thought.
I deliver. What do I say? What can I say? No, I did throw it out the other day and say it would be cool if they did something different, like a 6-man tag for multiple titles, and that's the route they're going. And I'm fine with it because it's different. It's something we haven't seen for a long time, if ever. I actually can't remember. I'm sure they've done
definitely
it
before, at least been a long while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last one I remember was 2001.
Yeah.
Austin and Triple H versus Taker and Kane. That was just a standard tag, not a 6-man tag. So
yeah.
But yeah, Reed splashing the splash all around the arena on the boards, and Santos losing his marbles was just golden. So golden. But yeah, I was right. What do I say? Yeah. You're welcome, Papa H.
Yeah, I think that's, it's cool. It's something different. It's something that, we have seen before, but not in a long time. And it's just a cool little wrinkle to add to this, that just more stakes is never a bad thing.
And the thing is, if one of Mendoza or Wild get pinned, and Santos still could have a legitimate beef, and they could still continue the Santos and Reed stuff if they choose to go that route. So it's a good way to get around certain things if they choose that route. So, it's going to be fun. It's going to be good.
Oh, yeah, definitely going to be good. And then another thing that I loved is as this segment was ending, Hit Row comes out. Now, we have gushed about Hit Row, as most people have. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've been, and NXT is great.
Yeah. I
don't think I've been as intrigued for like a new act or group or whatever as I am with Hit Row in a bit. Yeah. Like it is, they have not missed a beat for me. Like everything that they've done has been good. I have not been like, oh, that was a miss or anything like that. Like they have been like just treated perfectly. And I loved that they crossed paths with Legado del Fantasma. And I love that they had a stare down, especially Swerve staring down Bronson Reed. Like, okay, but I love the interaction between both of those 6-man teams, even though Reed and MSK aren't like an official team, but they've been kind of put together. But I loved Hit Row kind of having that moment with both of these units. Like, yeah, no, we're the group around here. Like, we're not, I just thought it was awesome.
Yeah. Whoever wins Sunday, we're coming for you.
That's basically the gist that I got out of it, which was
making it known.
Yeah, very cool. And then that led to Isaiah Swerve Scott going one-on-one with Killian Dane. I'll kind of let you take the lead on this one. Swerve Scott does get the victory, but it was a pretty hard-fought battle. People at ringside, obviously all of Hit Row and Drake Maverick there with Killian Dane, and that kind of they got involved towards the end. But I'll kind of let you talk about this match in more detail and kind of your opinions on it.
Match was fine. It was nothing, too over the top. It was nothing fantastic. It was just fine. It gets Swerve a win against a larger opponent. He needs eventually to move on to the Bronson Reeds and the people up the card. As I stated, once he finished with the Leon Ruff stuff, he just needs to push on and elevate. It's a good start.
Yeah,
but he's got to start climbing, especially if Hit Row are going to be taken serious down the stretch. The Death Valley driver from Top Dollar was
on the apron there to Drake. Yeah,
it was a bit. Oh, sorry,
it was clunky.
Yeah, but he's green, and stuff like that's going to happen. So
yeah,
I'd rather him be overcautious with another talent than just recklessly drop him on his face. So
yeah, and it seemed that Dane and Top Dollar had more than one kind of talking trash to each other, type moments throughout this match. So I could easily see Adonis and Top Dollar taking on Drake and Dane, like that being their first like kind of mini tag team feud. You know what I mean? And the route there. And it's a team that they can beat and kind of keep moving on. And I don't think it hurts Dane or Maverick because they're kind of just what they are at this moment.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I agree. I thought it was another solid win by Swerve as he continues to move up. And hopefully, once Sunday is over, he is heading towards Bronson Reed and like a higher title main feud because he definitely deserves that.
Even if I thought even the way they've elevated the cruiserweight title these days, if he was to win that, I wouldn't hate that either.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just think everything they're doing with Hit Row right now has been beautiful.
All cylinders.
Oh, yeah. So then we do see that Poppy has arrived at the show. Poppy has arrived, which then leads to an interview backstage with Candice and Indy Hartwell. And Candice is not happy that Poppy is there. She says she's angry as Poppy is there because all people talk about is Poppy and they don't talk about the NXT Women's Champions, her and Indy, because Poppy gets all the attention. And Indy is off in her own world thinking about how Dexter is still in love with her. And she's playing with her hair. And she's like, I think he still loves me. And just kind of runs away. To which Candice is like, gee, we're still doing this? We're still doing this, huh?
They were never a thing.
No, they were never a thing. They were never a thing.
She made mention of that.
Oh, and we do have Josh Robinson. Poppy, I love. So he is a big Poppy fan. And I know you said you were as well. They did just, and that was kind of, and it gets into a segment later, but they did just release the NXT like 5-song EP that's just the music, so definitely going to check that out as well. And Josh Robinson says he ships Index real hard. They hump. I agree. Big fan of the Index. As we'll see, though, might be some troubled waters in the Index scene as we go on to
the
our
Dex
evening.
knows he's in a bit of strife. You see his eyes are all like.
And then we got Spencer saying, "I don't know what shit means. I believe it just means you're in it, like you support. You're all on board the ship of." I could be 100% wrong. I don't know.
You explain that better than I could because
that was a guess. I'm just that. I hope I was right. We then get the vignette of Cameron Grimes in his lavish home. He's in the pool. He's lighting his cigar with a lit $100 bill, which I thought was a nice touch.
Oh, so
but he's coughing from smoking. He takes a sip of the scotch or brand, whatever it was, whiskey, scotch. He takes a sip and which he like coughs like, oh, and he's like trying to be a tough guy. Oh my God. I thought it was hilarious. I thought, again, this guy, for me, at least me personally, he also knocks out of the park. And I know he's hit or miss for some, but I friggin' love this guy.
These things are when I started to come around. These are the things that made me start to come around. Yeah. Because they're funny. Legitimately funny.
It is so good. But yeah, he's coughing from smoking the cigar. He's like trying to swipe down the booze, but he really hates it. But he basically just says that his focus is winning on Sunday and taking that $1 million legacy to the moon. Yeah, again, same thing as the LA Knight one for me. Short, sweet, both entertaining. Yeah. I am pulling for Cameron Grimes just because he makes me laugh hysterically and I love him. But yeah, it should be a pretty good tilt on Sunday, hopefully. We then get Mercedes Martinez walking in her entrance, walking down to the ring, and she gets attacked immediately by Xia Li. They brawl around the entrance. Xia Li gets a lot of the offense in, obviously, as she did the attacking from behind. But Mercedes kind of regains control and throws her over the barricade, and they kind of separate. And then Mercedes Martinez, who was supposed to be having a match before this attack, gets in the ring. She's kind of selling a little bit of an injury from the attack, and she says, ring the bell. And then, boom, hits a knee, hits her finisher, match over. Done. See you later. Squash real quick, made her look strong because she just got her ass kicked a little bit, and then she just got in there like it was nothing. I know you're a big fan of Mercedes Martinez.
I am.
What'd you think of this little segment here?
The squash, totally fine with that sort of stuff. That is essential character building, especially building up towards Takeover this week. And I could have done without the pre-match brawl, to be honest. I would have preferred them to to keep them separate until Sunday.
Yeah.
I would have liked if they had Martinez in a squash and then Xia Li in a separate squash.
Okay. That would have been nice.
To make them both look strong heading into to the match this Sunday. But, what we got was really good. As I said, the pre-match brawl wasn't so much for me, but the squash, Martinez looks 100% Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yeah.
And it's an intriguing battle. Mercedes is a quality in-ring talent. Xia is definitely on the upward curve. So this is a perfect matchup. If Mercedes wins, she's back up towards Raquel. But if Xia wins, then she's on her way up towards challenging. So it's interesting. It's definitely a 50-50 toss of the coin. But yeah, this squash match was totally fine.
Yeah, and I did like at the end, she kind of looks right in the camera in the ring, and she says, Xia, you picked the wrong one. You picked the wrong one. And again, just like, I like a lot of things they're doing with Mercedes Martinez as well. And I think they give themselves an out here, right? Because like you said, if Mercedes wins, then you're like, okay, she's back up near the top of challengers. Yep. But if she loses, you can involve Tian Sha and that element of it. So even if a loss from Mercedes doesn't necessarily hurt her, because you could involve kind of the extra stuff that kind of protects her a little bit. And even if she loses straight up, like, people lose. Like, you're allowed to lose. Not every loss is something that's like, oh, they don't matter now. It's when they start losing too much that it becomes an issue. But I think even a clean loss to Xia Li, that makes Xia Li look stronger.
Yep.
Way more than it will make Martinez look like. Yeah. You know what I mean?
She won't slip fire if she loses.
Exactly. All right. We then get a backstage segment with Breezango, and Breezango are back. I love. Yeah, they are back. They're making fun of Walter. They're making fun of Imperium. I don't know if making fun of Walter is the right thing to do. That might get you back on the
hasn't
shelf.
He been Germany champion for like 9 years?
Yeah, he's been Germany champion for like 9 years, they said. So Germany champion.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
So
so they start making fun of them. Breeze says that he thinks that Imperium, at least Eichner and Bartel, still have sour grapes from when Breezango beat them for those NXT tag titles, which I think was a good callback. And then he says, well, since Breezango wants to kind of get back towards the title picture, they should beat Imperium again. So nothing was officially announced, but it seems like that's where they're going to go there. All on board with it. I love Breezango. Super entertaining. Are you upset at all about Imperium and Breezango?
Nope. From memory, their tag title match was quite solid. So
it was very, very good.
I'm looking forward to see what they can redo in the ring. And anytime Breezango's in the ring, it's always a good time. They're one of those teams like the New Day. They're bulletproof. They could lose 10 in a row, and they're still so entertaining. You don't lose interest. No one takes them overly serious.
Yeah, we do have some updates. We've had 8 subs and 1,235 bits towards the Trevor Project. So thank you, everybody that has been doing that throughout this show so far. It is very, very appreciative.
Absolutely.
We then get the backstage segment. Okay, the stars of this segment truly were Triple H and Regal, to me.
Yes.
To me.
It was all facial.
I thought
was
their
all
facial
facial.
oh my God. Especially Regal, but both of them were just A+. A+ during this
Regal
segment.
was just standing there going,
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the different, like, oh. And then Triple H is like, oh, yeah, it was very good. So Poppy is Poppy is backstage with Triple H and Regal. They do like a little shtick where Triple H is asking about her music and when the new NXT EP will drop. And Poppy is like, I can do it whenever I want. And he's like, what do you mean? And she pulls out her phone and goes, and just like looks like she hits a button. And she's like, there it is. It's out. So apparently during NXT on Tuesday, they did release it live right on that moment. It
what
became
Poppy
available.
actually said was, I do it now. It
Yeah.
comes in.
Yeah, very, very, very soft spoken.
Dropped it now.
Yeah, very soft spoken.
It reminds me of that girl from Pitch Perfect who.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That's a good call.
She doesn't want anyone to hear
The first movie, the first Pitch Perfect movie is good. Get at me. But it's fun. It's a good movie. So they do that thing. And then as they're kind of celebrating the EP coming out, we see Dexter Lumis. Oh, Spenny liked that Pitch Perfect reference. All caps. He says, that hits me in the heart in the most loving of ways. Hey, here on the War Report, we're not all just about wrestling. We are about Pitch Perfect, soft-spoken people. We're about everybody. We get Dexter Lumis, and he has a picture of Poppy, and he gives it to her. And Poppy hugs Dexter Lumis because of the gift. And wouldn't you know it, right at that exact time of that hug, Indy Hartwell pops up. And Indy Hartwell sees the hug, and she is just heartbroken. And she runs off, very upset. Triple H and Regal with all the facial expressions about everything throughout this whole thing. If you did not watch this segment, you just need to go watch the segment and just stare at Triple H and Regal the whole time, and you will not regret it. They are so good throughout all of this. It is spectacular. But yeah, I thought this was, it continues the ridiculous, and I mean this in a good way, the ridiculous Lumis and Indy storyline. And it was just humorous. I thought, like we've said it a bunch of times, like Poppy was good for what she had to do here. And Regal and Triple H were the stars of the show here. I thought this was nice, short, sweet, and funny.
Absolutely.
NXT.
I've got no idea where this Indy and Dexter stuff is going. And that's the best part.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah. 100%. We don't know if it's officially ever going to happen or if it's just never going to happen. And it's very, very good. And it's NXT. When they do the comedy stuff, they seem to do it well. Like they seem to be able to balance it in between the more hard-hitting, grittier NXT that they are compared to the main roster. But they do comedy more often than the main roster, and they seem to do it a lot better as well.
Yep.
We got Pluggo saying Dexter's two-time an ass. Maybe. I don't think he was asking for a hug, though. I thought that was Poppy initiated that.
But he hugged back.
He did hug back.
So
I did love Loomis's face after everything too. Like when Regal and Triple H, like he's just like his eyes are real wide, just like He's like, I ruined it. I screwed it up there. Very good.
Yep.
We then get the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase in the ring with a couple security guys. He calls out LA Knight and Cameron Grimes, who they show backstage just talking trash to each other the whole way to the ring, which I thought was funny. Grimes is just talking, just being his annoying Grimes self, and LA Knight's just kind of like, okay, yeah, not really saying a lot, but like, yeah, all right. Then he knocks the money out of his hand, and LA Knight kind of comes out first, and then Grimes comes out, and they're both telling one of the lines that I did love from Cameron Grimes is that he says he was so rich that he lives under two bridges.
Yeah.
Because LA Knight was like, oh, you're so rich, you live under a bridge or whatever. And Grimes is like, oh, I'm so rich, I live under two bridges. Yeah, anyway. But they get in the ring. They're talking trash about Sunday. Then we get the $1 Million Man who introduces a solid gold ladder and he says that this Sunday's match will be a ladder match. And Cameron Grimes starts going off, cuts a pretty decent, like, small promo here saying how important this match is on Sunday and how he's going to climb the ladder and he's going to take the legacy. And as he's climbing the ladder, he goes, Ted, as I'm looking up here, I got nothing to grab. So can you tell me, what am I reaching for? And that is when we see, and we talked about it, it was a rumor, the $1 Million Championship. And DiBiase announces that it will be a ladder match at TakeOver, and the winner will not only carry on the $1 Million legacy of Ted DiBiase, but he will also win the $1 Million Championship. This has been a while since we've seen this belt. The Ringmaster, maybe? No, they bring it back after that, maybe, with young Ted. Did they do that for a little bit?
I don't remember.
Know. I don't remember. But I think the last thing that I can remember is Ringmaster with it. But there's a chance with young Ted. I don't know if it was brought back or anything like that. I don't know. I wasn't watching religiously when he was around.
I don't think Junior ever brought it back, no.
No, right? Yeah, so I think this is the first time we've seen this belt since early Steve Austin in the mid-90s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while. Obviously not. Oh, there we go. See, Ed, our boy Ed, Ted Jr. and Maurice had it. There you go. I didn't know for sure if he was involved with it at all. Obviously, being DiBiase Jr., I just wanted to make sure. But there we go. So it's, but still, that's a ways mid 2000s or late 2000s, whenever that was. I don't know.
Be at least 15 years. At least.
Yeah. So what do you think about the $1 Million Championship being back? We'll talk about the match when we dive into the TakeOver discussion at the end. But what do you think about this segment in general? And what do you think about the $1 Million Championship being back?
The segment was okay. It was a bit hokey, but you know, we kind of knew where it was headed a couple of weeks ago when it was announced or rumored that the title was coming back. You sort of had a feeling, and that's why I said it last week. I said it wouldn't surprise me if they made this match for the $1 Million Championship, which we now do. They have. I just don't understand their incessantness to have ladder matches all the time. They overdo the ladder match because we've still got Money in the Bank to come in a month or two. It's another 2 ladder matches. It's just they overkill the gimmick match. But it is what it is. It's 2 pretty relative newcomers to the brand getting some shine on the big stage, and in that sense, happy days. LA Knight, Eli Drake, whatever you want to call him, he's no mug. If you've never seen him wrestle properly, he can go. You don't again, like Taya or Frankie Monet, whatever you want to call her these days, you don't win a world title in Impact if you're crap.
Yeah. And
he did. So it's another flip of the coin match. I'm not sure who wins. I would say Grimes if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about it last week or the last time they had an in-ring thing, either last week or the week before, where it seemed like the promo that Grimes cut tonight was full on 100% babyface. Yeah. Whereas they were obviously trending in that direction with him when LA Knight first got involved, but it wasn't so out in the open because Grimes had been a heel this whole time. Yeah. But the promo he cut tonight was 100% full on babyface. Yeah. And I could see the babyface Grimes getting the win. I mean, I do think it is more of a flip of the coin, like you think. Yeah. Because, it might make more sense for the heel to win it, and then you have Grimes chasing it. Yeah. But I don't know how long you want to go with this feud. So, Grimes winning it right out the chute, since he was the guy that was really first involved with DiBiase before LA Knight was really around or involved. You can go either way. But like you said, it's Grimes has been there for a bit, but it's 2 newer talents getting a big time spot on a TakeOver. And that's not a bad thing. And we're seeing the same thing with Xia Li and Mercedes Martinez too. Like, these are 2 matches with 4 newer high profile people, and the fact that they're getting singles matches on a TakeOver, that's a big deal for them, and it's a big spot for them to be in. So they're all on the up if that's how it looks to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Our buddy Ed says, I remember Eli Drake being on the TNT and the Rock competition show way back before his Impact run. All right, I remember that show. I did not know he was on that. That's news to me. But I do remember that show with the Rock. I do remember that show.
There you go.
All right. I'm gonna preface this because the next thing that we got was, well, first we saw Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole being separated in the back from a fight.
Was it Cole or Cross?
No, it was Cross. That's right. I'm sorry.
Cross.
Yeah, it was Kyle O'Reilly and Karrion Kross being separated in the back by security real quick, but they were obviously throwing down in the back.
Yep.
We then get a tag team match. It was Grizzled Young Veterans going against August Gray, and I did not get the name of the gentleman that wrestled in his jacket. I did not get that name, so I apologize to that gentleman. I apologize to him. But I knew August Gray because he was from Evolve as Anthony Green. He was also a local guy in my neck of the woods a lot for Chaotic Wrestling. His character on the Indies is not the character that he is currently in NXT. He was the retrosexual Anthony Green when he was there, and he was just like, he had a fanny pack. He wore like a white leopard coat, very like 80s.
So he was Zicky Dice.
Basically. He was like he was basically like Zicky Dice. But he's August Gray now, and I thought he looked good in this match. They gave him like a really good section to display his offense towards the end of the match, and I thought he looked good. And I know he's been on 205 Live the last few months, kind of making a name for himself. I don't watch that much, but I know he's been a kind of a regular on there lately. Yeah. But yeah, the guy that I don't know his name, unfortunately, he wrestled in his jacket.
And he got some shine.
Yeah, he did. And Wade Barrett was like, I've never seen anybody wrestle in a jacket before. So they, I don't know if that's his thing. I don't know if that's what he does,
I don't know, but early days, he attempted a clothesline with the jacket.
He did.
That's cool.
I thought it was cool. And then August Gray and the partner there, they had a little bit in the beginning. They were getting the best of Gibson a little bit, but then once he made the tag, we saw that really good double team, the multiple kicks, the soup, really good double team moves. And then halfway through the match, it was a shorter match, but we see Ciampa and Thatcher. They come down with chairs and they kind of sit at the bottom of the ramp and watch. And that's where we see kind of August Gray have his flurry, his showcase of offense. Then Gibson kind of shouts at Ciampa and Thatcher, and they kind of regain and they hit their move, and it's over real quick out of nowhere. After the match, we have Gibson on the mic. He says, I don't know if you guys missed the clue. Oh, I'm not going to know how to butcher this. I'm going to butcher this, but Ikemanjiro says Google. That's what Ed says. So we'll go with that for now as the guy that we can't remember their name. But Gibson says, I don't know if you guys heard me or not, but I said we're done with you. And we want to go to the NXT championship picture. We're done with you. We have nothing to prove to you. To which Ciampa says, well, you're not getting a shot at the NXT championships unless you go through us. So Gibson, which I'm very looking forward to this match, he challenges Thatcher and Ciampa to a tag match next week on NXT. However, he said this isn't going to be a normal tag match. No tag rules. Tornado tag match. Very excited for this. Very excited for these two teams to wrestle anyway. But a tornado tag, no tag rules. Sign me up. That's going to be a doozy. I hope it main events. I don't think it will, but I hope it main events. That's going to be a hell of a match.
It might. It might. It'll either open or a main event, and it'll do one or the other.
Yeah. So what did you think about this whole thing here?
Yeah, a lot happened in the space of like 10.
Yeah, it was very quick, but
10 so minutes. It was, I don't know, it was full on. August Gray for me was a standout in this one. I don't know. He just stood out like a beacon. GYV are always good. It doesn't matter whether they're, against sort of newer guys or experienced talent. They're always good, and this was no different. I'm just looking forward to next week. Tornado tags, so good.
Yeah, and
they're going to be able to do everything they want without the social media all going. Oh, but they didn't tag in. They were in there too long. Just let them go.
Let them go.
Let them just tear shit up.
Oh, yeah.
I just hope they don't 50-50 it.
Yeah,
I like Ciampa and Thatcher as a team, but I don't know.
Yeah, I get worried about that. I think you got to just kind of pick a team you want to push, and you just got to kind of push them,
Outside of winning the initial UK tag titles, GYV always seem to lose the big one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like they always seem to lose the big one when they're over here on this version of NXT. Yeah. You know what I mean? When they were in NXT, like you said, when they were in NXT UK, they won the big ones. They were treated with that, like, this is the best tag team over here type,
and they were.
Yeah, and they were. And they're one of the best tag teams on the NXT roster right now, easily as well. And
I reckon they're one of the best teams in the world.
I agree. But it always seems that when they have that tag title match or that number one contenders match or the Dusty Cup or whatever, they just fall short. I hope they win this match. And like I said, that's nothing against Ciampa and Thatcher. I love those guys too. But I think Grizzled Young Veterans needs to be the team that kind of gets thrown. Like they're a heel team. MSK is still a face team. Like they should be the next, once the Legado del Fantasma thing is over, they should be kind of the next team that kind of goes up there and fights MSK. That's my opinion.
I'd be happy for them to build both teams separately. And then as we get towards SummerSlam weekend, excuse me, I'm assuming they're going to have a takeover, and I'm assuming it's going to be fans like SummerSlam is supposed to be. So, let them open the card for 25 minutes.
Yeah, that'd be that. Yeah. And if you remember, not so long ago, I feel like a lot of the takeovers always opened with a tag match. And they always open with whether it was DIY and the Revival or it was Aleister Black and Ricochet against the War Raiders or whatever. Like, it felt like there was always a big time tag match at every takeover for the titles, and it always opened the show. That's how it felt like.
Or main evented.
Or main evented. Yeah. So I would like to kind of see them get back into. They have a lot of good tag teams. Like they have like a handful of like really good tag teams. Yeah. So I would like to see them kind of raise that game a little bit. Tag team is still important in NXT, but it's not what it was a few years ago. And I would like to see take advantage of all the talent they have in that division right now and kind of get it back up there.
Yep. Agreed.
All right. We then see not a vignette, but we see Bobby Fish in the back. He's working the punching bag there. And he very quickly just looks at the camera and says, Oni Lorcan, don't think for 1 second that I've forgotten about you. So I'm assuming sometime very soon, maybe even next week, we're going to get Bobby Fish versus Oni Lorcan. And that will be good. So
fantastic.
I'm on board with that.
Absolutely.
So then we do see Candice LeRae make her way to the ring. Again, continuing the I'm so sick of Poppy being around here, taking up time and stuff like that. And then
it's kind of random where this has all come from, to be honest.
Yeah, really. Yeah, out of nowhere. And then we even hear her, even though she has been against Index forever, she uses that as an excuse of why she doesn't like Poppy. She goes, and you broke up. You're trying to weasel your way into, Index, and everyone knows that's a thing. When earlier in the night, she literally said, it's not even a real thing.
Yeah, we're still doing that? It was never a thing.
It was never a thing, but now all of a sudden in the ring, everyone knows that's a thing.
You broke up Index. So what are you doing?
Oh, my God. So that was good. Blames Poppy for making Indy leave in tears, trying to get some sympathy. And then she calls Poppy out. Poppy obliges, comes out and says, hey, I don't wrestle, but I know someone who does. And then we get the return. First time we've seen her since TakeOver, Io Shirai. And she comes out, goes down to the ring, hits her flurry of offense. And then her and Poppy celebrate in the ring. Good to see Io back. Love Io Shirai. What say you about this whole little segment here? It looks like they're going to do Io and Candice again, maybe? Or do you think this was just to kind of bring her back and then they'll do separate stuff? What was your opinion of everything that went on here?
This was fine. It was good fun. We asked last week, is Poppy going to wrestle? Well, she might. They might do a tag match at some point. Shirai and Poppy versus The Way. Cool. If this leads to Shirai versus Candice in a singles, very cool because their matches always rule. But yeah, this was short, sharp. Everything it needed to be. Poppy said what she needed to say. Got out of there, celebrated. Her choice of outfit was interesting, but I'm not the one dressing the lady. So but no, this I don't know. They'll either go tag route or they'll go Candice. Io versus Shirai. Oh my god, Candice versus Io 1-on-1 at some point. And if they do, that's fine. Totally fine.
For sure. And they have a little bit of a history, them too. Candice was the one that Io turned heel on, correct? If I remember correctly.
I believe so, yeah.
So they have a little bit of history, those two as well. All right. We then get, which I thought was another very good match. We got Ember Moon against Dakota Kai with Raquel at ringside. But before we got that, when Raquel and Dakota were walking to the ring, we saw Raquel and Io Shirai have a little bit of a stare down. Not really a respectful one, but they kind of bumped into each other, kind of stared at each other, and then kind of went their own way. So maybe we will see another rematch of some sort down the line, which obviously Io, she should have that kind of be in that realm at all times. I'll let you take it from here. How did you feel about this match between Dakota Kai and Ember Moon?
This was a super fun match, man. This was better than I expected it to be. I thought it'd be good, but I didn't think it would be this entertaining. And the time that they got put on the show, I thought, and even with the picture-in-picture, it took me out a little bit, but not as much as some matches have in the past. The only thing I didn't need was another distraction or in a match or anything like that. It seems to be a theme across NXT a lot, but it is what it is. They went to DQ instead of Dakota taking the L by pinfall, which is fine. That boot to Ember to knock her off the top for the DQ was good stuff.
Oh yeah, I also wrote. Dakota Kai did they called it a neck breaker, but it was almost like a reverse crossroads at one point. Like she went the other way. Looked gnarly. Gnarly.
She also has a spot in the corner with the ring post. She looks like she's going to wrap her knee around it, but she actually spun it the other way and she got her neck on there. I thought that was pretty cool.
And then Ember Moon had like a somersault stunner of sorts on Dakota Kai in the match. And then
like
after
a dragon sleeper into a stunner.
Which I thought was very, very cool. And then after Raquel interferes. So it happens where Raquel tries to get involved. Ember Moon kind of hits her a few times, kind of gets the best of it. And then she ends up hitting a tope on both Dakota and Raquel. And gets Dakota back in the ring, and that's when she goes to the top rope, and Raquel just says, F this, and goes right in there, boots her off, and then she starts to take advantage a little bit. Dakota's kind of out of it now. It's really a one-on-one thing with Raquel and Ember. And Raquel goes for her kind of one-arm choked powerbomb, and Ember Moon kind of reverses it into like a modified eclipse, which I thought was very cool. The way she did that. And then she went to the top rope and she hit a damn good eclipse on Raquel, and Raquel was out. And I thought Wade Barrett did a really good job on commentary, basically saying like, yo, Raquel is out. Like, this is the first time we've ever seen her like that. Like, she is out cold, like in the ring, not moving.
She sold it well.
Yeah, she sold it very well. And I thought it was very good on commentary and Wade Barrett specifically to mention like, hey, Raquel being on the ground like that is not something we've seen ever or often. Like, this is a big deal. And then Ember goes over, grabs the belt, and kind of lays it across the waist of Raquel, who's out cold, and she leaves. I thought it made Ember look great heading into Sunday. I mean, she's a former NXT champion, so we should already expect that she can pull this off.
Absolutely.
but I thought it made her look strong as hell, and we all know where Raquel is, and she is strong as hell. I thought this was really good. I thought the match was really good. Dakota Kai is excellent. Probably doesn't get enough credit, but she is excellent. Ember Moon is excellent. Raquel is excellent. I thought this was really good. I'm excited for this match on Sunday. Excited for it.
I wasn't. I was excited for it initially, but as I said last week, it's hard to get excited for a match where you know the outcome.
Yeah.
But seeing this and what certain moves that Ember can do actually look like on Raquel, it actually got me more excited for this match. So it's gonna be a fun one. I'd probably open Takeover with this, maybe.
I think it would be a good one, and we will.
So we'll see, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah. We then get our main event segment of the night. Before commercial, we see Karrion Kross in the back, and he basically says, the four of you, your time is up. You're going to get time. He goes, we don't have to wait till Sunday. I'm going to the ring right now, and we're going to have this face off. And if you guys want to throw down, you'll know what it's like to be in the ring with Karrion Kross. We then come back from commercial, and Regal is already in the ring, standing across from Karrion Kross.
He got the jobber entrance.
He did, yeah. And Regal says, I run the show here. This is not happening. I've seen how it's been here lately. I'm not letting this break down before Takeover. To which Kross interrupts him, tells him to shut up. And Kross's exact words were, you're not running anything around here. He said, Kross tells him that he doesn't run anything and that NXT has been out of control for a while now. I thought that was good, kind of touching the job performance a little bit of Regal. Not so much the personal to personal thing, but like kind of questioning his job performance a bit. Like, hey, you haven't been in control of anything around here.
He's not wrong, though.
He isn't wrong. He isn't wrong. So I don't know if that's something they'll play into a little bit more as we continue. Maybe start. I mean, I love Regal. I don't want Regal to go anywhere, but maybe they start playing in like, hey, you need to get NXT under control angle type thing a bit. Kross says that we're in his world. He says you're in Karrion Kross's world, and he's not leaving until the other four guys come out and get their asses beat. We then get Kyle O'Reilly. He's the first one to come out. He says that Kross is insecure, and that's why he's so angry, because he knows it's just a matter of time before Kyle O'Reilly takes the title from him. We then hear Gargano show up, and he shows up on the announcer's table. He's on top of the table. He rags on Kyle O'Reilly, the jean jacket he was wearing, and he says Kross is supposed to be the biggest, baddest guy, but he's no Johnny Takeover.
No, he's not.
Pete Dunne arrives, telling everyone to shut up. He says he's the baddest. Pete Dunne I loved because he was the first one in the ring too. Like no messing around. Pete Dunne, tells everyone to shut up, says he's the baddest man in NXT, says he's not afraid of anybody, and he says this Sunday he's going to win the NXT title. We then see Adam Cole on the screen. He calls Kross the biggest moron of the bunch, just having everybody out there. Like he's like, you're supposed to be this big, bad, smart guy, but you're an idiot. You just put yourself out there for everyone to come get you. He says he can wrestle circles around Karrion Kross. And then he continues to just rip on everyone, says Kyle O'Reilly shouldn't even be in the match. Says he's already beaten. He goes, I can just pin Gargano again, because he's done that a few times. He takes a jab at Pete Dunne, but nothing too crazy. They kind of leave Pete Dunne alone for the most part. And then it just starts breaking down. Karrion Kross and Pete Dunne start going at it. Kyle O'Reilly's involved. We have Gargano hitting a spear through the ropes, and we got all this going on. And then security comes down. Karrion Kross kind of takes over. He's suplexing everybody. The other three guys, he's suplexing all the security. And it looks like the segment's going to end with Karrion Kross holding the title up. We then see a super kick, just the foot of Adam Cole out of nowhere. Gives him a super kick on the back of the head, followed by another super kick, followed by the Shining Wizard to the back of the head there from Cole. And then Adam Cole says this Sunday he's winning the belt. He picks up the belt, stares at it, lifts it up, does the Adam Cole baby, and that's how the show ends. with a multi-man match, 5-person match, you expect some sort of brawl of some sort to happen before. I thought this one was a good one. You know, everyone got their shit in. Everyone kind of got their time to shine, and Cross and Cole looked like the two favorites, as you would say, both having time to stand up with the title. I'll let you, well, first of all, we'll say hello to our friend Noob. He says hello. Thank you for hopping in, joining the chat. And then I will let you kind of take over. What'd you think of this whole segment? And then we can kind of dive in. We'll start with this match about Takeover, and then we'll kind of dive into the rest of the card before we get out of here.
Yeah, it was a typical brawl to end a go-home show, really. It was nothing, you know, if you weren't sold on this match before, then this probably would have sold you a little bit more, but nothing too exciting. Similar to the go-home show of Dynamite for Double or Nothing, you saw OC holding the belt up there. You saw Ember and now Adam Cole holding the belt up now.
Yep.
They're not winning Sunday. But I wouldn't hate if they went the route of post-takeover. We went towards Dunn versus Gargano, and then they built Cross towards Cross versus Cole one-on-one for SummerSlam weekend. I'd be happy with that. But the caveat is they need to get Adam Cole some singles wins, because he's still 6 months without a damn singles win.
Yeah.
And on the go-home show to the takeover, he stands in the middle of the ring holding the title.
Yeah.
What?
It's just from sheer stature of who he is. They just, and again, this is when you fall into some shit. Because
Reputation.
100%. Adam Cole's super popular. We all know how good he is. He's the guy. We all love him, even though he's the bad guy. We all do the Adam Cole baby. We all do, although I think he has a new song, but we all do the boom, you know, like all these things. It's 100% stature. They know how good he is. We all know how good he is. So they're like, yeah, people see him with that belt, even if he hasn't had a win in the last 7 months, and they don't care. People like us who dive in deeper to it are like, we still love Adam Cole, but like it needs to make a little more sense. But yeah, it's on the pure stature of who he is.
He's gunning hard. He's annoyed. He's the only one in the house without a title now.
Yep.
He's
true.
annoyed.
He's
upset. He feels inferior at home. It's not cool.
Yep.
He just can't hack it.
And then Ed says, but remember, Adam Cole wormed his way into this match by insulting Cross. So storyline wise, it works. It does, because Regal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, last week, Regal 100% was like, I know what you're doing. It's not going to work. Yeah. So Regal, for storyline purposes, was not, he was like, I'm not putting you in this friggin' match. And Cross was the one that was like, no, you are. Yeah, I want him in there. And so it does make sense. Right. That is correct, Ed. That's a good call out. But I do agree. Like, I don't expect Cole to win. And I think that's like, as excited as I am for TakeOver, and we'll dive into it a little bit. I'm sure we'll talk on Sunday, a brief amount of it as well, since that'll be the day of. But the card for TakeOver looks good, and I'm very excited for it. And I think as a wrestling show, it's going to be great. But I think, at least for the two main singles title matches, we already know who's going to win. And I think that's kind of the only negative for me. It's like, hey, are the matches going to be great? Yeah, I think so. And it's going to tell, you know, so at the end of the day, it probably won't matter that much, but it does take a little bit away when you have a strong opinion of like who you think or who you know is going to win, right? So,
yeah. But with the Fatal 5-Way, like, what intrigues me the most is I personally have no doubt Cross is winning.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see who they book him to pin.
It's fair.
Which way do they
choke
go
out
with
or
that?
whatever,
Who takes the L? Yeah. Because that will decide, or go a long way to deciding sort of, because I reckon his next one-on-one challenger comes from this match.
Yeah.
And I personally believe the way they've set it up, it's going to be Adam Cole.
And I think that's probably the right way they're going. I think you're probably right there.
Yeah.
When I think about who can take the loss, I think the one that can, and it won't hurt them, is Gargano. I think he's the guy that anything can happen to him, and he's still Johnny Gargano. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like he's still. So I don't know. Maybe if it's him who takes the submission or the pin or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I do think I have no doubt as well that Karrion Kross is not losing that belt right now.
No.
There are rumors of a draft coming up soon after SummerSlam and things like that, or right before SummerSlam, somewhere around there. All well and good. And Karrion Kross is someone that I could see Vince being like, yeah, no, he's going to come up here. I get it. I just don't see them taking that belt off him right now. It's still too soon to me. And I don't think if they were going to take it off him, they would do it. Even though it's easier to take it off him when there's 4 other guys there, because he doesn't even have to lose it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think whenever he's going up or whatever the next thing is for him, when he's losing it, he's going to lose it to a single one person that they're going to push, or they're going to give it back to a guy like Adam Cole, or they're going to, you know, Gargano. Hopefully Pete Dunne is the guy. That's who I would like. But with any of these 5 guys, not from a storyline perspective, but just because of who they are, you can't go wrong with any of them being your champion, you know? So
absolutely not.
Yeah. But I think I would, you know, since we'll just start diving into TakeOver, I agree with you. I think Karrion Kross wins this match. I'm expecting the match to be fantastic. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be wild.
Yep.
Obviously, a multi-man match means no DQ, so who knows what they'll throw in for that type of stuff. But I'm expecting fast-paced guys flying everywhere, getting all their shit in, doing. It's going to be good. It's going to be very, very good.
Absolutely.
But I expect Karrion Kross to come out victorious.
Same.
All right. So if we keep on diving in, let's go into. We'll start from the top and work our way down, and we'll do the opposite way since we started with the 5-way. We have the women's NXT championship match. It is the champion Raquel Gonzalez defending against one Ember Moon. What say you?
Raquel, she's holding that thing for quite a while. I don't know who they're going to position to even come close to her.
I don't think they have them there yet, or they haven't propped them up yet.
No, especially not in the short term. The only person I could potentially think of at any point, if it's going to be soon, would be Dakota. That'd be the only person. Or
I think Frankie Monet, like longer down the line, could be an option.
Yeah. The other person you could potentially throw in there to feud with her short term would be if she turned on Dakota and Dakota became the babyface and someone like Tegan Nox returned. You could do something with that. You could do something there. But outside of that, I think Raquel wins. It'll be a good match. It's not going to be probably any. It won't be the best women's match you've ever seen because I don't personally think Raquel is capable of that caliber of match. Not yet anyway. But this will be a really good larger lady, smaller lady dynamic. We saw that it can work on NXT this week with the move set that Ember has. But yeah, I expect Raquel to come out in the end. And whether Dakota helps her get the win or not, I'm not sure. I hope not, because I know we don't need more distraction or funky finishes. Especially Raquel, she shouldn't need help retaining the title. But I expect her to win, and then I'll be super intrigued as to where she goes after that. Maybe Shotzi, not sure.
Yeah, and I think Shotzi would make sense. I expect Raquel to win too. I think this type of feud is what Ember Moon is perfect for because she's the former champion. You know she's capable of being champion once again because she has that stature. And Raquel beating her is a credible victory for Raquel. Big time. Former champ. But I agree. I think Raquel wins this. And then I would see if Shotzi, I believe, is really injured. Like that's why she's off. She's just healing up from something.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just storyline injury.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything major or anything like that. But just kind of,
bit of rest.
Yeah, a little bit of rest. But so I could easily see maybe Raquel beating Ember, and then maybe she takes Ember out,
Yep.
Or maybe next week on NXT, the fallout is she takes Ember out, and then Shotzi pops in again, and they have a kind of mini feud that leads to a shot from Shotzi, and then you kind of go on to wherever you're going. But I expect this, like you, to be a good match, but I don't think it's. I think this is probably the safest bet of the house is probably to Raquel to keep this title.
Yep.
All right, then we do have our winner take all. It is for the NXT Tag Team Championships as well as the NXT North American Championship. It will be Legado del Fantasma going against Bronson Reed and MSK. Now, I 100%, and this is, I like everyone involved here, but I really like Bronson Reed. I really like Bronson Reed.
Yep.
I want Legado del Fantasma to win this match. Now, they're not going to be my pick. Huh?
Why?
Because I want them to have all the gold. I like their group. It's just one of those things where, I just think the gold on all of them is just better than the gold on the other three guys. That's just my opinion of it. I think they can play into that with their faction the way they're an actual faction, all the gold. I don't like the way, and we talked about Adam Cole not having a win. And I know we've talked about this with Escobar too. I wouldn't be huge on Escobar winning the belt after the last 3 big matches we've seen. He's lost. But I do think it's an easy way for him to take the title off of Reed without pinning Reed. Yeah. And then Reed is trying to get the belt back because, like, wow, this shitty heel won my belt and he didn't even – I had nothing to do with it. You could go that route. Or, like you said when we were talking about the segment from NXT, it's an easy way to just have them retain too by not pinning Escobar, and then Escobar is like, hey, you never really beat me. You know, you can go either way. I think with all the gold, Legado, that's a good aesthetic I would like to see with Legado del Fantasma with all the gold. But I expect Reed and MSK to retain. I do. Yeah. Although that's 3 retains. I mean, there's got to be – I know we're getting a crowning of a new $1 million champion, but I would think maybe one of the titles would switch hands. Or in this case, it would be 2.
That'd be 2, yeah. No, I don't think so. I think Reed and MSK will win. This match is going to be super fun. It's going to be, you're going to get a lot of fast-paced stuff in this match, and then you're going to get Reed just doing his thing. I don't think they're going to lose. I can't see Reed losing after only having it for 3
and I think that's the thing. Like, as much as I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if Legado del Fantasma kind of had all the gold. Like, Reed really just won the thing, and that's really. And I know MSK technically just won the belts a little while ago too. So same takeover, So I expect them to retain. I just think Legado del Fantasma having those belts and having all that would be very cool and something that could work really well.
It'd be Evolution-esque if they were to hold all the gold in the way they dress. And
exactly. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. They wear the suits. When they come out, sometimes they even have the masks on with the suit and the gold. It would just be a very cool look.
Cool visual. I get it. Yeah.
All right, so we got the couple last matches here. We do have the ladder match for the $1 million championship between LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. What say you? What's your pick?
I'm going with your man. I'm going Grimesy.
Yeah.
Good old Frankie Grimes.
I hope so.
That's a Simpsons reference if you're playing.
Frankie Grimes, Oh, I remember.
No rhyme or reason, really. I just think, they kicked off this whole thing with Grimes. LA Knight's only sort of come into it the last sort of month, maybe. I just think it'd be a good reward for the good work that he's done these past sort of 6 months-ish. Just it'd be a good reward for Cameron Grimes. He's super talented in the ring. He's a good promo. And this would be a good stepping stone towards something much bigger.
Yeah, I agree. Grimes is my pick as well. Man, I think we are all picking the same, but that's, smart people think alike, great minds think alike.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm picking Grimes as well. I do think that this is the match on the card where you could probably flip a coin, like you said earlier. Like I think this is the one where it's like, I feel I don't know who will win the most, kind of.
Yeah.
But because of the reasons you mentioned, Grimes has been doing this with DiBiase for a while now.
Yeah.
And he's been one of the standouts on the show, and I could see them rewarding his work and kind of rewarding him getting himself over a little bit with this character by giving him that belt. Although I do think being the $1 million champion probably works better for a heel. Just because most people, when they think of $1 million, like rich people, that it's not a positive, you know what I mean? It kind of has that, uppity rich guy over here, you know what I mean? Type of
arrogance about it. Yeah,
exactly.
But
so I think it could work better.
Outside of this feud, Grimes can still be heel.
It's true. True. Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they went either way.
Yeah. All right. And then we have the last match. Will not be the main event. But
no.
We went opposite route. But we do have Mercedes Martinez going one-on-one with Xia Li. I actually think this is another match that I think they could go either way, and it could work.
Yeah.
But I'm picking Xia Li. I think Xia Li, it's her first ever takeover match. I think they have big plans for Tian Sha, even though we haven't seen them in depth lately, but they have presented them strong every time they've been on. I think Xia Li is, whether it's by shenanigans with the Tian Sha stuff or just straight up, I think she's getting her first big takeover win in her first big takeover match. That's my pick.
Yep. And Mercedes is the perfect opponent to do it against.
Yep. Mercedes, is great. She's going to make her look like $1 million.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I think a loss here, like we kind of talked about earlier, I think a loss here doesn't affect Mercedes either way.
No.
If Mercedes can lose this match on Sunday, and if she has another match next Tuesday, and wins, it doesn't, like, you know what I mean? Like she's right back on the trajectory, and Xia Li beating Mercedes Martinez, even though she hasn't been around a long time, she just fought for the title not too long ago. So it's it's a big win for Lee. I think that's the route they go. And I think you are agreeing with me.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, that was it. That was our little brief, not super dive into TakeOver. But like we've been saying all month, we are trying to raise funds here for the Trevor Project. We've been touting this on every show, every stream, social media heavy, because we definitely feel great just helping people, because helping people is always a good thing to do. But the Trevor Project means a lot to a lot of people, and especially a lot to a lot of us here at Love Wrestling. So we wanted to raise our goal of $1,000, and we are dangerously close already. So we are going to raise our goal, and we're going to pass our goal, and we're going to crush our goal. But here is the link down below us. It is donate.tiltify.com/@lovewrestlingca/Trevor Project. If you have already donated, thank you. If you can't donate, just share the link. Make more people aware that might be able to donate. It's a good organization. And yes, we have a goal, $1,000. Yes, we want to reach that goal and pass that goal. But just in general, it's a good organization. Raise some money for them. Donate some money if you can. Raise awareness at the very least. We will all appreciate it, and I know the Trevor Project will appreciate it in Pride Month. They do great things for the LGBTQ community. And we should just be supporting everybody, and we should be helping people as much as we can. So that is that. Continue to share that. Continue to make people more aware of that. It's a great thing we're trying to do here. So any help, we are all greatly appreciated. Matt, my man, we will be back Sunday morning for another, at least on me on the East Coast, early morning War Report. We will be reviewing AEW Dynamite, which once again is on Friday this week.
Yes.
Hopefully should be another good show. And then I'm sure we will touch once more on Takeover, which will be Sunday night. But yeah, anything else besides the War Report coming up for you, or you just kind of just anything on the horizons for you? I believe you will be a part of the live reacts after Takeover with me, and I believe we might have another guest or two. We will be doing a Love Wrestling Reacts immediately following Takeover on Sunday night, and the War Report gentlemen, JPJ and The Franchise, will be a part of that. So that is
So
something
you get
to
us
look forward
twice
to.
on Sunday, everyone.
Hey, twice on Sundays, man. The twice on
That's
Sundays. Anything else
Every
coming up
day
for
of the
you?
week
Or?
and twice on Sundays. Yeah,
Love
boy.
it. Love it. I would love it.
Mhm.
Besides that loaded up Sunday, anything else on the horizon for you, or just kind of?
As we stand, no. But you never know, because I theoretically can't really go out and do a whole damn lot, because, they've, as of 25 minutes ago, they've, ended lockdown, when really all they've allowed us to do is go an extra 15 kilometers away from our home. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Who knows what'll happen on the weekend, but I'll play it by ears. It'll be what it'll be. But no, I'll definitely be here for the AEW show that we have on deck, and also Takeover Reacts. I'm pretty sure it's me, you. I think Christopher Parrish is
I
coming
believe
in.
Mr. Parrish might be joining us, as well as maybe one
and
other
probably
person.
one other, if we can
Yeah.
swaggle someone across. So
Yeah, for sure.
we'll see how we go, but definitely be at least three of us.
Yeah. Later on this evening, for myself personally, I will have Between Two Beards tonight at 8:30 Eastern, right here on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching this show. Pluggo, John, and myself have a extra special guest this evening. Alex Kane, the second round draft pick in the MLW draft from a few weeks ago. He is joining us tonight. Very excited about having him on. I believe he might, we're not 100% certain, but he might even be involved in our draft this evening as well. So that should be a lot of fun. Between Two Beards is always a good time. We try to have as much fun as we can. And like my boy Ed says here, fireworks, because we passed our goal of raising money for the Trevor Project last week. So Spencer is buying us all the fireworks for the show this evening. But yes, we do have that, as well as we will have a Love Wrestling Reacts for SmackDown tomorrow. We already talked about our double dip on Sunday. We're everywhere. We're doing things every day. Please donate to the Trevor Project. For Matt, for JPJ, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for joining us for our NXT War Report show. We will see you bright and early Sunday morning, East Coast time, for our AEW review. And until then, we will see you later. Peace out.